Hey y'all, today we are going to be repotting a rosemary pyramid. You've probably seen them in the store, and now you're going to know how to repot them and take care of them. Because we're going to talk about the 3 mistakes that you definitely don't want to make in order to keep this lovely plant alive in your home. So let's take a sip of tea and get going. All right, first we'll take your tag off and shimmy this bag off, of course. Here's what you're gonna need for this project. You're gonna want your rosemary plant, some larger rocks, and then I'm gonna have probably some smaller rocks, some cactus potting mix. Not your regular potting mix, cactus, we'll talk about that later. The pot you want it to go in, saucer for your pot. A trowel would be handy, and some water. So take your pot, put your larger rocks down in the bottom. That's going to help with drainage, not losing as much soil when you're watering. So stick those down in the bottom. Got them kind of scattered here. Gather those larger ones first. Some smaller ones after that. And then for the soil. Now, this potting mix I said was specifically cactus potting mix. And that is because a rosemary plant, that's one of the main mistakes that people make when they repot a rosemary plant to have in their house. They take it inside and they just either keep it in this little sad, pretty and red festive pot, but they don't repot it. They don't put it in some well-draining soil. You want cactus mix because it has sand, it has grit in here that keeps it from holding as much water, which rosemary plants do not like to hold water in their soil. They want it to drain quickly because they're used to living on the hillsides of the Mediterranean. Think Portugal and Spain. These plants are living on the hillsides, meaning that the water runs right past them, and most of the time they love absorbing moisture from the air and a little bit from the soil. So lots of sand in here. You can mix your own if you want to get some regular potting mix. Add some gardener's sand to it. That's perfectly fine too, whichever way you want to go about it, but this is an easy peasy way to go. Put some of this down in the bottom, this cactus mix, okay? Down in the bottom, push it around the side so you still have a little bit of a hole in there, so that we can get an idea of how much soil we need to put. Oh yeah, that's about right. Come to the top. Now, you want to break up these roots. I might honestly need help with this. I think I'm going to use my trowel. Now I've got those roots loosened up a bit, and I'm going to stick it in the dirt, in the soil, and trowel back. Put some of this around the sides. Now that we have it repotted, you're going to take it inside just like this. You're going to put this underneath it. So we talked about the first mistake that's often made, which is not using cactus soil or a really well-draining soil for your rosemary plant. The second mistake is putting it in a dark room. You want to put it in a really well-lit room. So make sure it has plenty of sunlight. 6 to 8 hours is really best. Now, the other thing you want to make sure that you do, and don't make this mistake, don't overwater it. It doesn't usually get a lot of water. It doesn't want to be waterlogged. So you want to just water it lightly every 2 weeks, or when it's just a bit dry. You're going to be taking it indoors, which is often a really dry environment. So I've read that in some people have had good results that if they put water down here, it actually evaporates into the air and the plant absorbs the moisture that way, and it really likes it that way. So that's another idea. If you don't want to water it up here, you can water it here and watch, just watch how much water is down there, and you'll have a healthy plant. So we'll go over what you want to make sure that you do, the 3 things you want to make sure to do to keep this plant alive. Well draining soil, good lighting, 6 to 8 hours at least, and well, ideally, I mean, we're talking winter, so at least 6 hours, and watering lightly. A little bit of water every 2 weeks, or just when you see that it's quite dry, you can water it down here, a little bit up here. Don't bog it down. And now you'll be able to enjoy your rosemary plant for much longer than you might have. Thanks for joining. Hope these tips helped. Now, let's enjoy some more tea. Maybe I should clean my hands first. Things I don't want to forget to mention. First, don't forget to enjoy the smell of your rosemary plant. Ah, it smells so wonderful. The second thing is, this plant in folklore and literature is often referenced as a symbol of remembrance. So this Christmas season, I hope that you make some great memories. Cheers to that. And found these little battery operated lights, and I'm going to put them on here and then turn it on and see what it looks like. Let's go. Moment of truth. How cute is that? Ah, so fun. Hope you enjoyed this.